Every day, two little girls prayed at his son's grave. When the billionaire finally asked why, the answer made him fall to his knees. If emotional stories move your heart, like this video and subscribe to Inspiration Stories Box now. The cemetery was quiet in the way only the rich could afford. Trimmed grass, marble headstones, private security at the gate. Daniel Blackwood walked slowly toward the grave he had visited every Sunday for the past 4 years. His son's name was engraved in cold stone. Ethan Blackwood, beloved son, gone too soon. Daniel had built empires, bought islands, controlled boardrooms full of powerful men, but none of that mattered here. Here, he was just a father who had buried his only child. As he approached, something felt wrong. Someone else was there. 2 small figures knelt in front of the grave, twin girls, no older than 7, wearing faded coats, their hair tied into uneven ponytails. Their hands were clasped tightly, eyes shut, lips moving in soft prayer. Daniel stopped in his tracks. No one ever visited Ethan's grave except him. He paid to keep it private, protected. Anger flared first. Who let them in? Then confusion, then something else, something that made his chest tighten painfully. He stood there unnoticed as the girls finished their prayer. One of them placed a tiny bunch of wildflowers at the base of the grave. The other wiped her sleeve with her arm. Daniel felt his breath shake. He cleared his throat. The girls jumped. They turned around together, identical faces, wide eyes filled with fear and surprise. For a moment, no one spoke. "What are you doing here?" Daniel asked, trying to keep his voice calm. The girls exchanged a look. One stepped forward, protectively placing herself in front of the other. "We're sorry, sir. We didn't mean to do anything bad." Daniel's heart twisted. "That's not what I asked," he said more gently. "Why are you praying at my son's grave?" The name son made the girls flinch. They looked at the gravestone, then back at him. The smaller twin whispered, "Because he's our papa." The world tilted. Daniel felt the ground shift beneath his feet. "That's not possible," he said sharply, more to himself than them. "My son never had children." The taller twin shook her head slowly. "He didn't know," she said, "but our mommy told us everything." Daniel's ears rang. He stared at them, really stared. The shape of their eyes, the curve of their smiles. Something about them felt terrifyingly familiar. "Where is your mother?" Daniel asked. The girls' expressions changed. The light faded. The smaller one hugged herself tightly. "She's sick," she whispered. "Very sick." The taller twin swallowed hard. "Before she got sick, she told us to come here. She said if we prayed for Papa, maybe he'd protect us from heaven." Daniel's legs weakened. He grabbed the edge of the gravestone to steady himself. His son, Ethan, dead at 26 in a car accident. Brilliant, kind, reckless in love. Daniel had forced him to leave a girl years ago, said she wasn't suitable, poor, no future. Ethan had obeyed, or so Daniel believed. "What's your mother's name?" he asked, voice barely holding. "Anna," the twin replied. "Anna Reyes." The name hit him like a bullet. Daniel collapsed. Security rushed forward, but Daniel barely felt them catching him. His vision blurred as memories flooded back. Ethan arguing, begging, saying, "I love her." Daniel threatening to cut him off. Anna disappearing from their lives overnight. And now this. Tears streamed down Daniel's face as he knelt before the girls. "I didn't know," he whispered. "I swear, I didn't know." The twins didn't understand his breakdown. They just stood there, scared and silent. That day, the billionaire didn't leave the cemetery alone. Daniel took the girls' hands gently, as if they might vanish if he touched too hard. "Come with me," he said. "Please." They hesitated, then nodded. Something in his voice felt safe. For the first time in years, Daniel didn't return to his empty mansion alone. Everything came out slowly. Their mother, Anna, had raised the twins alone after Ethan died, never asking for help, never revealing the truth. Pride, fear, and heartbreak had sealed her lips. She worked 3 jobs until her body gave up. Now she lay in a charity hospital, days, maybe weeks away from death. Daniel visited her that very night. Anna recognized him immediately. Hatred flickered in her tired eyes, then exhaustion won. "You took him away from me," she whispered, "and now he's gone." Daniel dropped to his knees beside her hospital bed, the same way he had at the grave. "I was wrong," he said, choking on the words. "I destroyed my own son, and I didn't even know what he left behind." He promised everything, but Anna shook her head. "Don't do it for me," she weakly said. "Do it for them." She died 2 days later. The funeral was small. Daniel stood behind the twins, his hands resting protectively on their shoulders. When the priest spoke about forgiveness and legacy, Daniel wept openly. For the first time, he wasn't ashamed of his tears. Weeks passed. DNA tests confirmed what Daniel already knew in his heart. The twins were Ethan's daughters, his granddaughters. Daniel changed. He shut down meetings. He left the boardroom early. He learned how to braid hair. He learned to bedtime prayers. He learned to laugh again. The mansion filled with life, crayon drawings, scattered toys, giggles echoing through halls that once felt like tombs. One evening, as Daniel tucked them to bed, the smaller twin looked up at him and asked, "Do you think Papa can see us?" Daniel smiled through tears. "I know he can." "And is he happy?" the taller one asked. Daniel nodded. "Because of you." That night, Daniel visited Ethan's grave again, this time with 2 little girls holding his hands.